My sister said I couldn't afford to join the family vacation, so I booked the villa next door and didn't invite her. My older sister, Jessica, and not in a sweet, my big sister is my role model kind of way. No, ours was the kind of sibling rivalry where everything became a scoreboard. As adults living separate lives in Pennsylvania, the competition didn't die. It just got quieter, sharper, and somehow even more annoying. I usually let her win her imaginary contests, but this summer, she handed me the perfect opportunity to shut her up. My family had been planning a lakeside vacation in Michigan, a nostalgic trip to a place my parents visited before any of us were born. The villas were renovated but still charming, big windows, wooden decks, hammocks overlooking the water. Not luxury, but peaceful. The kind of place where you breathe differently. One night on FaceTime, we were finalizing dates. My mom asked if we were all comfortable splitting the cost evenly. Before anyone could answer, Jessica jumped in with her "I'm just being responsible" voice that always means the opposite. "Are we sure everyone can afford it?" The air shifted. My mom paused. My dad looked up, and I knew exactly where she was going. Jessica kept going like she was solving a math problem. "Addison's been budgeting a lot lately. Maybe she should sit this one out. For the record, I like saving money. That doesn't mean I'm broke." But Jessica has always believed that if you use a coupon, you must be living on the edge. "I can afford it," I said. She actually laughed. "Addie, you use coupons like a sport. That doesn't mean I'm struggling." She shrugged. "Well, it kind of does. You know that feeling when someone embarrasses you in a way so subtle everyone else almost misses it? Yeah, that." I ended the call early and sat there stewing. I didn't want to argue. I didn't want to defend myself again. I wanted something better. When I checked the resort website, I noticed something beautiful. 2 villas were still available. My family's and the one right next to it. And just like that, a petty little spark lit up inside me. I booked the villa next door, under my own name, paid in full. No announcement, no drama, just quiet vengeance. The day of the trip, my parents arrived first. I pulled into my driveway 2 hours later, stepped out of the car, and watched 3 different reactions happen at once. Mom, jaw dropped. Dad, trying not to laugh. Jessica, looking like she'd been personally attacked by the universe. She stormed toward me like a wasp that smelled sugar. "What are you doing here?" "Checking into my villa." "You're staying with us." "Nope, booked my own." She stared at my printed reservation like it was a forged passport. "You booked this? Here, right next door. You can't afford." I held up the receipt. Conversation over. My mom hugged me so tight I almost tripped. My dad finally let himself laugh. Jessica mumbled something like "ridiculous" and stomped away. Honestly, the weekend was perfect. My villa was serene, quiet, and smelled faintly of cedar and lake air. I spent my mornings sipping coffee on the dock while watching the sun ripple across the water. My parents kept wandering over to spend time with me, little snacks or drinks in hand, like they were secretly choosing sides. Meanwhile, Jessica watched us from her porch like a hawk having an existential crisis. On day 2, she tried for round 2. "It's weird that you're alone," she said, leaning on my railing. "Not really. I'm having a great time." She blinked twice, jaw tightened, and retreated like a vampire caught in daylight. But the universe wasn't done blessing me. On the last evening, I signed up for the sunset paddleboard session. That's where I met Luke, a 30-something guy whose friends bailed on him last minute. We ended up paddling side by side, talking about everything Michigan summers, terrible siblings, yeah, and why paddleboarding looks easier than it actually is. We clicked, naturally, effortlessly. And when we stepped back onto shore, Jessica appeared, out of nowhere. Like she had been hiding behind a tree, waiting for her moment. She unleashed maximum flirt, questions, hair flips, giggles that did not belong to a woman in her 30s. Luke was polite, but distant. And then, when she invited him to hang out at our bonfire, he said, "Actually, I'm having one with Addison and her parents. You're welcome to come." She froze, not blinking, barely breathing. "Oh, well, okay," she muttered, and walked off like a malfunctioning robot. She did not show up at the bonfire. When we got back home, my parents confronted her. They told her she crossed a line, embarrassed me, and needed to apologize. She tried to rewrite her intentions, but they weren't buying it. She eventually apologized to me stiff, tight-lipped, like each word had to be dragged out with pliers. I accepted, mostly because holding grudges requires more energy than I care to spend on her. And then karma delivered the final blow. I was at brunch with her a week later when my phone lit up. Luke texting me. Jessica's eyes widened. Her fork slipped. She almost knocked over her mimosa. I didn't say a single word, just smiled. And honestly, that smile felt better than booking the villa.